All right, so welcome again, and happy equinox. So we'll start with a little activation first. So equinox is a beautiful time where day and night are the same length, and nature kind of is waking up. It's a springtime, but some cultures celebrate it as a new year, actually. So it's a great time also to set intentions, to bring more that fresh power into our visions, into our goals, into our desires, and connecting with that feminine. So today we are going to start with the chakra balancing, right? The balancing of each energy center. We'll go pretty quickly today, just over all of them, and then we'll get into the questions that you submitted. And after that, after all of the questions, I'll do another practice, which is very important, very powerful, and it's practice of inner union. Because from that state of inner union, again, the balance of masculine and feminine energies within us, balance of that yin and yang. That's the state from which we can really manifest the desires in the most kind of profound, quickest, and ecological way as well, because it's really about connecting to a true self and to an inner power. I'll talk about the queen archetype, which also deeply connected to the practice of sacred union, and it comes back to that method that I offer. It calls Queen's Alchemy, where you'll see how we get into that feminine state, but from more of that secure perspective when we have our own inner masculine activated as well, where inner masculine and inner feminine are in balance. And from that state, how we can relax into the feminine power, what it is. Okay, so let's start just by closing your eyes and connecting with your own body, with your own presence, with your own breath. And allowing the breath to go all the way into your belly, softening, relaxing into this expansion, effortless expansion. Observing the breath on the way out and allowing the belly drop toward the spine on the end of the exhalation. And again, inhaling all the way into the womb, into the belly. Welcome. If you're still joining, we're just starting with the activation for the spring equinox. Feel free to bring one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. We're going to continue with deep breath for a little bit more, really arriving into the body. If you feel like there is some tension, maybe some stress you accumulated during the day, exhale with the sound, let it out. Again, inhaling deeply, relaxing into the expansion, and exhale, sigh it out. Let's do it one more time. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring attention to the base of the spine, and it's your Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. Feel free to do a bit of rocking, either you're sitting in the chair on your cross-legged position. You can do a bit of rocking on your seat bones and feel activation there. The root chakra, connection to the earth element, connection to Mother Earth, and feel that support, feel grounded, supported, completely held and provided. Feel the sense of that inner security. Take a deep inhale. Suspend the breath for a moment. Feel the energy moving up the spine. It's Kundalini practice. And exhale, relax. And continue with gentle circles, connecting with the water element and Svadhisthana chakra. This is the base of our creative power, sensuality, sexuality. Switch direction of the circle. So we're gonna connect with all of the elements, bring them into the balance. It's called tattvas. When we can manage, or like not manage, but really keep those elements in balance within us, our life becomes more balanced as well. So coming back to the center, we're gonna take a deep inhale again, suspending the breath, applying, it's called root lock. So we're contracting slightly the perineum muscles, sex organs, and feel the energy moving up the spine. And again, exhale, relax. Bring attention to the solar plexus and navel point, which is fire element. And we're going to activate it by inhaling deeply, holding the breath. And as you hold the breath, just pump the belly several times, as many times as you can hold while holding, and then exhale and relax. We're going to do 2 more times so it releases the tension from your solar plexus. Again, take a deep inhale, suspend, and pump the belly. We're allowing our power. Lots of time we have tension there, so we're not allowing our own uniqueness, our own power. Exhale, relax. And 1 more time, deep inhale. Suspend and pump the belly. And exhale, relax, connect with that sense of ease, accepting your power, accepting your uniqueness, your creativity. And now bring attention to the heart center, the place of love and compassion through which we can connect to that unconditional love that we are. And let's do it by just going to extend the arms. There are so many exercises in Kundalini Yoga to activate the heart. I love it, but we're going to extend the arms and just drop the wrist. Open the chest as much as you can. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Exhale through the mouth. You can create a sound. A sound activates the heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Ah. We're gonna do it 1 more time. And this is the place of unity consciousness as well. Hold it here a bit longer. Keep breathing deeply. In the heart, that where everything comes in balance, where it all merges into oneness, into that unity, where we experience in that alchemical marriage of the earth and the sky, of masculine and feminine. And relax the arms, relax the shoulders, roll the shoulders back and down several times. And continue with gentle neck rolls. Deep breath and feel like you're brushing the throat with the air, like kind of like sighing, energizing the throat chakra. And the throat chakra corresponds, it's Vishuddha, and it corresponds with creative expression. It's a voice, speaking the truth. Again, especially for women, it's often blocked. Because for many ages, it's not safe to speak the truth. So that's so important for us to start opening the throat, activating our voices. Did we do the other way? If you didn't, do the other way. Breathe in deeply. And coming back to the center, deep inhale. Suspend the breath for a moment. And exhale, relax, just feeling the warmth in the throat. And now we're gonna bring attention to the ajna. So the point between the eyebrows, this is the point of our intuition, higher vision. So we're activating the pituitary gland by focusing there. You can press up with the tongue. And just stay here, long deep breath, focusing. You can even do a bit of like, if you want to bring more attention there, just kind of massage it with the base of your palm. Activate that center. Gentle focus. Release the arm and couple deep breath here. relaxing and focusing at the same time. Often when we focus, we tense up. So it's very important to start learning how to relax as we are focused and activated at the same time. It's also a tantric principle, how we can stay relaxed and contain the intensity. And now bring attention to the top of the head. This is the Sahasrara chakra, the connection to the divine, to the sky. And just hold the attention there. We can actually interlace the fingers, connect your index fingers and extend the arms. We'll do 3 deep breaths here. Keep the attention on the top of the head. You can keep pressing with the tongue, by the way. Maybe go a little bit higher. So this one we activate not pituitary, but pineal gland. Again, this is from Kundalini Yoga. We just do a little like a brief practice to activate the energy centers and bring them into balance for the equinox time, equinox activation, celebration, and relax. Great. Okay, so let's connect with the intention now. So I want you to put in the chat or even voice it. If your camera is on, you can just voice your intention for equinox in a couple words. But connect with what's alive. Try not to go too much into your head. See what's alive in you. Connecting with the true desires. Very important. So connect to your heart. You can even bring the hands on your heart. Feel the balance there. Everything is balancing in the heart. Remember, that's the place of union and unity consciousness. And from that space, you can voice your intention. Again, in many traditions, this is the new year. So it's like you set an intention for the year ahead. And my intention is stepping fully into my power and create beautiful, loving communities. So if anyone else wants to share, feel free to do it. You can just put it in the chat. Again, this is for you and for the universe to hear you. If you're watching the recording, feel free to speak your intention, feel free to write it down. You can even pause the video, write down your intention. It's very good to do it after the practice when your energy is activated. Good. All right. Now to feel my power and attract safe love and feel loved. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Let's put it into the universe and open your heart to receive. Okay. All right. So thank you for being here. We're going to go into the questions that you guys submitted. I have 6 questions. We're going to go over them. After each, I'm going to open the space if you want additional kind of clarification maybe. And if you want some more questions to be answered at the end, feel free also just remember them, write them down, and then you can answer them or you can ask them afterwards. All right. So first question was from Zen, and she is asking, how do I create a bonding relationship? So beautiful question. Want to acknowledge the desire, right? From bonding, from beautiful, for a quality relationship. And let's talk about how bonding happens for men and women. Because often as women, we think that we bond the same as men do. And often we kind of go to the default behavior, just treat the other how you want to be treated. And that's how you create the bond. But that often not the case. I'm just going to have a sip of cacao. So how do men bond? Actually, let's talk first about how women bond. So women bond through connection, through intimacy, through sharing, through receiving attention, through being heard, through being seen. And especially, so what happens on the hormonal level is that oxytocin gets really activated. And when oxytocin is, flowing, we get really bonded. And that's what happens with, let's say, I call it premature intimacy, right? Especially like physical intimacy. We can get bonded too quickly to somebody who actually hasn't shown us yet that, he wants the same thing that we do. And that's how we get in trouble. Because our hormones run the show. So now let's talk about how men bond. And that might be surprising for some women. So men actually bond by feeling appreciated. They bond by feeling like actually needed. Lots of women afraid of word need. Oh, I don't want to be needy. But wanting something, desiring something, appreciating something that comes from a man is very different than that neediness. So we have to start differentiating those two things and allow the man to show up and invest in you. So, if in one sentence the man bonds by investing in you, investing his attention, his time, his money, his resources, but not just investing, but also feeling, okay, oh, it actually feels good. I feel appreciated. I love how she receives. And again, it's not like he is actually thinking that consciously, but subconsciously, that's what happens. He is actually feeling into how it is to give to her and if she is able to receive. And often women these days forgot how to receive. We feel so unworthy deep inside to just receive and enjoy that we try to give back right away, or even more than we receive. It's like, oh, he's gonna feel that I'm a taker. And we really forgot that dance of masculine and feminine and how it is to be receptive. And we forgot that actually to receive is to give as well. So, again, in 2 words, if you want to create a beautiful bonding relationship with the man, I assume we're talking about men and women here, but even in other styles of relationships, still one person usually takes a masculine role and one takes a feminine, because otherwise there's going to be no polarity. And the bonding also happens based in polarity, right? Like the two opposites attract. So that's the bond. And again, if you are not willing to receive, he's trying to give you, the bond is not going to happen. If you're also going to try to give, you're going to, and it doesn't mean that you don't give, but the feminine giving should be coming from overflowing, from the desire to give, like when she feels so already like so fulfilled, so she just gives from that overflowing. It's very different type of giving, and it's very fulfilling and nourishing for a man as well. So again, hopefully I answered that question. So this bonding happens when you learn how to receive and appreciate. And that also means that you don't rush with physical intimacy, that you allow that bonding happen on different levels first. Because when physical intimacy happens, often the bonding on other levels stops, unfortunately. Again, this is due to the hormones. It's a big topic, but in a couple words, that's what happens. So when I say don't don't rush with physical intimacy, it's not because of like, oh, there are some like morals. Sorry about it. It's really, it's a hormones, and it's how to create beautiful relationship based on a nature as well. And the physical nature and a divine nature. The beautiful thing that they not separate. They actually, like, if you look at the tantric studies and then in biology studies, like, no, it actually, like, it all makes sense on all levels. All right. Any questions about this question and answer? No. Okay, great. So we are going to move on. And the next question, that's a long question, so get ready. I feel like this question already answers itself. How do you maintain a sense of balance and self-worth, cultivating emotional stability and security within oneself Through the integration of maintaining established healthy boundaries in relationship while letting go of attachment, strong desire of getting what you want, letting go of fear, and offer freedom. The goal to cultivate emotional stability and embrace freedom. It's like, whoa! I feel like you already answered half of your question while asking the question, which is beautiful. Um, as I said, yes, it is a loaded question, but what I also can sense here is that like deep longing for love and connection and for creating this beautiful relation. And at the same time, there I can feel lots of fear here. This, oh, what, but my attachment is wrong. My desires are wrong. How can I let go of my attachment and my desires? And that's where I wanted to start answering this question. So let's start with the desire. Is it wrong to have the desires? Because some of the I feel like this person maybe got into some Buddhism teachings and coming from there, I have to let go of attachment and desires, but that's actually misunderstanding of Buddhist teachings, and it's like oversimplifying them, and it's definitely not in line with tantric teachings what I offer. So desires are not wrong. Desires are a big part of this is actually the basis of our existence. And when you learn, well, when we do later on the meditation of the union, of the inner union of masculine and feminine, the divine feminine is Shakti, and her main power is the power of her desire to experience joy, to expand, to play, to create. So desires are beautiful, but what I'm inviting you is to engage into purification of the desires, to notice where desires are coming from. Because often these desires, and that's what we actually do need to let go of, is the desires that are um, coming from societal expectations, from your childhood programming, something that not really your true desires that come from your heart, from your body, from your soul, but the desires that, yeah, somebody told you that you need to have this in order to be okay, right? And that's the first thing. We need to let go of that. Uh, the societal pressure and really know what we want, step into our power in that sense. And that's what I teach in the, so my method, I call it Queen's Alchemy, and I have like a course, self-paced course, and the like one-on-one coaching. But the main thing is to how to become that woman who can stand so powerfully in her center, at the same time so in her feminine and relaxed, while having the strong masculine too, like she's assertive, she's strong, but she's also soft and flowing. And from that state, really feel what you want, what kind of relationships you want. So it's not wrong to desire, let's say you want like a monogamous relationship, committed relationship, and maybe you don't, but you need to really be honest with yourself. And let's go to the part here of the attachment. Is the attachment wrong? It's not wrong to desire a secure attachment. That actually the foundation of a good relationship, the secure attachment. But what I feel, there is a fear here to lose your freedom, but even more, there is a fear of being like too much for your partner, because maybe you were told that you need to lose the attachment and open relationships are great. Why you're so possessive? It might be coming from there. So again, own your desires first. Understand that you want the attachment, but you want secure attachment with the person who is right for you, who deserves your love. And if you feel like you need to betray yourself in order to be with this person and let go of your desires and your attachment, then it's probably just not the right person for you. So you need to come back to your center and understand what you want, prioritize your alignment. because again, in this question, there is, I feel like, a lot about the other. How do we allow freedom to the other? Everybody is free. So what is the freedom? So while you take your time dating and exploring and getting to know a person, so take your time and find out what's the freedom for that person, what is freedom for you, because freedom can be in committed monogamous relationship. The freedom is the basis of our existence. And of course, you're free in relationship to be yourself and to explore what you want to explore, to become fully who you want to become. And if the relationship is not amplifying that, again, that's a wrong relationship. But it doesn't mean that it has to be open polyamorous relationship, right? It's on your desires. Maybe it is what you want, but it has to come from the right place. Again, it's a big question. I want to make sure that I answered all parts of that. But I like really the first sentence of this question is, how do you maintain a sense of balance and self-worth? And again, this is just going back to remembering who you are and stepping into your queen. And who is the queen? Why I'm talking about the queen and not other archetypes, because she is actually containing all other archetypes. She contains already that receptive princess and really like adventurous wild woman and sensual lover and divine priestess and nourishing mother. So the queen, she contains all of them, so she can be in her feminine because she also contains the warrior archetype, right? The one who is like got those boundaries and who is assertive and who can fight for her. So it's all activated, so you can be relaxed, like in your center, in your power. And from that place, you're actually going to start attracting different qualities of man as well, that you don't actually need to ask those questions. Oh, like, how do I let go of my desire for love? Like you don't. He is going to show up as that king to meet you in your desires. Let's see if I answered this question completely. If you let me know if you have some questions following up on that. So the main thing here is, yes, own your desires, purify your desires, and know that good relationship is based on secure attachment. Yes? Okay. I'm gonna continue. So the third question, what is the quickest way to become the love of my life? And again, I feel like this question already answers, because it doesn't ask how to meet the love of my life. It asks how to become the love of my life. And that's exactly what it is. You have to become love. We have to realize that, again, we are love. We have to remember that. And that's what we're going to do today in that inner union meditation too. We're going to connect to the heart center. And because we are love, we just forget about that. And then we start looking for the love outside of ourselves, right? And that instead of just being love and amplifying that love in other people, and again, letting man like being like just attracted to you, like you're a magnet that attracts them as love. But instead, we forget that we are love and we start searching for love outside of ourselves, and we become so like needy and demanding, or we get into love addiction because we go through this like up and downs, and it feels like, oh, it's so much love, and then there is no love. There is so much love and no love. And it's very deep question as well, because that fear of not being that love comes from that illusion of separation from divine. I come from the Tantra background, from like lots of spiritual teachings through all my life. So for me, it's very deep. It's that original separation from the divine. But it's really the illusion of separation, because we're always there. We're always in that field of love if we allow ourselves to remember that. And we are there is no sense of separation. So there is no sense of this like, oh, but I need it. You are it. And then all of those love addictions, they will disappear. But it takes practice because we also have very strong those neural pathways now where, and like it's created by those like the hormonal roller coaster in different relationship and past relationships. So it takes practice. I'm not saying it's easy, it's simple because you're just coming back to yourself, but often it's not easy, it takes practice. All right. Any questions about this question to clarify anything? No? Okay. Question number 4. How to choose love over fear of hurt? Okay, so again, thank you for submitting your questions. I feel like there is so much also longing for love, and also like the fear of hurt comes where it comes from. It comes from some experiences, right? So you already been hurt in some of maybe your relationships, and now you feel like you either closing yourself and playing it safe, or you open your heart and now you're up for being hurt again. So this is not the most correct approach to the situation because it's kind of comes from that victim mentality, right? That something is out there that's gonna hurt me and I'm here, I want love, but I'm so afraid to be hurt. So we have to change all of that. And how to change all of that? Again, going back to your center and to the queen. So when you're in your center and when you activate your inner masculine, which is very important because that's what's going to protect you. I'm not saying that you just open your heart again and you don't use any assertiveness of who you allow in your space. So activating that inner masculine, that energetic, protective field, that container, and allowing yourself to stay in your feminine, in your center and observe will protect you automatically. It will not allow you, if you actually respect yourself and take your time to get to know the people who like courtship you, who attracted to you, you're not going to get hurt. There is a way to date where you are not going to get hurt. And the way most women date these days, yes, you up for disappointments because how we usually date these days, we just attach too quickly to one man who we feel that like original attraction to, and then we're trying to build relationship from that original attraction before we get to know him on different levels, before he had a chance to show up on different levels. So and yes, so the answer is focus on creating your strong inner masculine and then lean into your feminine. So you open to receive love and you're also assertive and observant of what's happening. How is he showing up? Because a person who wants to hurt you, he's not going to be able to pretend for like a long time, right? It usually happens when you just get that trauma-based attachment, trauma-based bond, like that excitement, and we confuse that excitement and then anxiety for compatibility. We think, oh, he's the right partner because I have all of these feelings. And we don't allow ourselves to actually relax. We jump into the masculine. But when I say activating the masculine, I'm not saying you jump into behaving like a man. It's very subtle, but it's very different. Activating your masculine assertiveness, meaning you're actually stepping back into your feminine. You're not in your masculine now trying to chase him, trying to prove that you are the right one and like trying not to get hurt at the same time. Like that's gonna be just so much chaos. So a lot simpler, not easy, but simpler. Stay in your feminine, activate your masculine, like protection, just assertiveness, and observe what happens. Let him show up. Any questions about this one? So yeah, you don't need to get hurt. Um, Also, like I want to say, of course, like yeah, like just open your heart and invite more love. We live once. So it's okay to be hurt again, and maybe you will get hurt again. It's okay. Like if you have your own strong masculine, you can hold your own back as well. So you're not in that victim state anymore, right? So nothing really can hurt you. Okay, question number 5. Nomi, is it your question? Is it possible to have a healthy, secure relationship with an avoidant partner? Is it yours? No.
No.
No? Okay, all right. So yours is the last one. Okay. But it's very, I feel like this one is similar. So,
Yeah.
is it possible to have a healthy, secure relationship with an avoidant partner? So let's break down this question. Because avoidant partner usually means there is a dynamic. It's not just he is avoidant and you are secure. Usually, if you attracted avoidant, you are anxious. And how can you be happy and healthy in this dynamic? The answer is no, you can't. But if you change the dynamic, meaning you're gonna take responsibility for your own pattern, you're gonna address your anxiety, your anxious pattern that comes from your childhood, probably comes from your past relationships. And even in my self-paced course, the first part of it is actually healing that inner dynamic and healing that inner child, healing those like the patterns, because it's very important to address those patterns. And from those patterns, so it's process. So you're probably just gonna let go of this partner for a bit and start taking care of your own state, right? Because your state is what you create from, it's what you attract from. So you're gonna start with the healing, but it doesn't take ages. Like in my process, what I offer, because it also has this like tantric direct path, so it's not just the healing. Then we're going into creating the strong inner masculine. And again, that's part of the process that the phase number 2 will create the strong masculine, which turn towards your inner feminine, and it protects it. And it also asks like, what's your feminine wants, how it wants to be treated. Then we focus on that inner feminine, allow it to flourish, allow your sensuality, allow your desires, allow your flow. And so, what's your feminine wants? You want to be secure. You want to feel safe. You want to be respected. You want to be loved. You want to be desired. You don't want to be questioning if you are not enough, if you are too much, if like you don't want to be changing yourself for that partner. You want to change yourself for yourself. You want to be really comfortable in your own skin. So that's where it starts. So you start to become that secure within yourself, within your own skin, right? And that starts from inner masculine, but not getting stuck in the armor. So now I'm just not gonna allow anyone in my field. These boundaries are energetic, so then they allow you to relax into your feminine. Because if you just stuck in that masculine, lots of women these days stuck in the masculine. They have very strong masculine, they're very good in business and their careers. I work a lot with these specific women because they actually already halfway there. Strong inner masculine is a must, but if you stuck there, you're not gonna attract a masculine partner. So from that inner masculine, you have to start relaxing into your feminine. And that's like the third phase of the self-paced course. Or again, like when I coach, it depends where you are on your journey. You might be ready for this right away to start relaxing into your feminine. So there are like different feminine practices you can do. There are pleasure practices, tantric practices, sensual dance, different guided meditation to connect to feminine flow. And from that you become magnetic. You're not trying to get that specific man and uh, try to make him to recognize that you are the right one. From that state, the same partner might change the dynamic. He might actually because he's avoidant, maybe because he's actually, that's his trauma, or maybe he's playing into your dynamic of this anxious, because if you are like really chasing him and you and your masculine, that he doesn't have the space to step in. So if you change within and he is not stepping in anyways, then that's it. Let him go. He's not the right partner for you. But you might be surprised. The dynamic might change. So there is no straight answer to this question because I don't know what's happening with you exactly here. And you probably don't even know. You have to just start the process and then see what happens. So that's my answer. So yes, it's possible. And also, yes, it depends where he is and if you are ready for this transformation. Because it's not just like some kind of dating tricks. This is the deep identity level transformation, but it's not hard because it's remembering, it's already within us. We have those codes, they just need to be activated. And that's what I offer in my coaching and courses. All right. And the last question, which got really close to the one I just answered, should I want for my partner who is ambivalent about me? Or should I wait? Should I wait for my partner who is ambivalent about me or move on? So, Nomi, I feel like I answered that that question with the previous one, but let's dive into it. So, what is ambivalence? It means he is not sure. He's not giving you yes, he's not giving you no, he's not choosing you fully, right? So, let's stop at that. Like, he's not choosing you fully. And now come back to that state of queen within yourself, right? Like, again, activating that masculine, so you have your own back leaning into the feminine and connecting with those desires, with the queen within you. How this queen wants to be treated. She wants to be secure. She wants to feel safe. Safety is like the basic thing the man should provide. If he's not providing that emotional safety, is it even a question? No, right? So, but again, it might be because you haven't created that safety within yourself. So the answer is very similar. Start with yourself. You don't have to break up with him. Just like shift your attention from him back towards yourself and start working on that inner queendom. Start with healing the patterns. Again, if we go into the course, the first stage is healing the inner pattern. The second stage is activating the masculine, the boundaries, knowing your standards, like protecting yourself, and then also leaning into your feminine. Now, knowing that you have your own back, leaning into your feminine, connecting with your desires, owning your desires, really like rooting in your worthiness, like knowing that it's not just something like, but is it okay to want this? But I know so many women settle for this. Like, no, own your desires. Allow yourself to be the queen that you are. It starts from that. It starts from women to step in into this queen's presence. Until we do that, the men, they don't have a chance to rise up. Because again, you'll see from the meditation that we'll do at the end, the divine masculine responds to the divine feminine. The Shiva, the masculine, if we go in like to those extremes of masculine and feminine energies, and they are within all of us, right? So the man doesn't mean that he's just masculine, right? We all have masculine and feminine. But if we go to the extremes, so you understand what happens. So the extreme, the divine masculine, the Shiva consciousness, he is nothingness. He's like complete stillness. He is dead without Shakti. And what is Shakti? Shakti is that life force. She's the life herself. She's the one who desires, who expands, who dances, who flows. And so when that masculine, ah, I got distracted. So the masculine cannot be actually alive without feminine to stay in her power and be active. So that's the first step. That's why it starts with women. Lots of time I hear these days, like women are so disappointed and like kind of giving up because they say like, oh, men are passive. They don't want committed relationship. They don't want to step up. They don't want to be in their masculine. But we got to the point where they need to be inspired into that. And it's a process of evolution. like we're all becoming more whole. So women embracing the masculine, right? Like we're becoming more driven, goal-oriented, like they're strong and powerful, but men also on their side, they embracing their feminine. So they becoming more emotional, more compassionate, softer, and we want that. We want to become more balanced, more what, our souls are calling us into that change. But now from that state, how we activate again that polarity. So we, as women, we need to start leaning into a feminine. So then again, it's just the physics, it's just the dynamics that's gonna happen, and the man will, it's like automatically will have to rise into his masculine and show up. And if we, back to your question, if we in that state where we allow that ambivalence and we allow him to be kind of wishy-washy, go with the flow. What is that going with the flow? That's the feminine. He's in his feminine, and it pushes you into masculine. So now you have to like, oh, what do I need to do? How do I chase him? Like you might not think in these words, but you're like, what do I need to be so he chooses me, right? So this is the masculine state. So you see how the polarity here is reversed now in that ambivalence. Yeah, makes sense?
Mhm.
So you need to reverse it back. You need to come back to your feminine, stay there, come back to your throne, relax, and, and let him show up. And if he does, then you can create a beautiful relationship from it. And if he doesn't, that's his process as well, right? Because it's also for man, it's a healing journey too, to meet his feminine within and then integrate it and then find the way back to his masculine with the integrated feminine. It's a process. But if you both stuck here, he's ambivalent and you are like pursuing, then it's a reverse polarity and it doesn't have a chance at all. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, I think I'm at the stage where I'm on my tether now, you know? I'm at the
Don't you
tether.
what?
I'm on the final end of the this situation, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like literally like in a matter of weeks I feel like I'm gonna go like this. And but it's a shame because we've built a life. That
Mm.
life will change, and I just don't know what to do. It's really
Well,
hard.
what I suggest that you don't even need to break up. You just start taking care of your own inner state. And you're welcome to do, like, if you need support, you do coaching with me or at least take a program. But it's about like you taking care of your own energy. You again, like doing something, I'm gonna break up, it's still masculine mode. You don't need to do
Okay.
that. Just come
Okay.
back, taking care of your energy. If you need some distance to do that, then take the distance. But it's not from that like pushing something away. It's from honoring yourself, taking care of yourself, coming back to that queen. From that point, if he's not ready, he'll just disappear and it's not going to feel like so much trauma again. Or he might step up, but you have to release that expectation completely. You
How
need
long
to.
does that take? How long does that take?
How long?
Yeah.
Depends. It depends on, I don't know how much inner work you already done, how easy for you to step into that presence and like really root in that presence. Because it's one, because also there is a state you can get into that in your practice, but then when you're in situation, you're gonna like be out of it right away, right? So it's practice, and then can you maintain that state where you actually challenged by the environment too? So it depends, yeah. But that's the only way from my perspective, and I've been studying it like really all my life. The relationship for last 6 years, but like all this like tantra and yoga and like all like relating. So I think that's where life and evolution and humanity is calling us, calling women into stepping into the power. But power, lots of women, oh, feminism is the power. It's not the power. It's still masculine ruling the world, but within the woman, right? So women still in there like, oh, contraction that like, I'm strong and then collapse and, uh, have all sorts of diseases. And so it's part of the way, but now the next step is like the true power is in your softness while you're protected by your own inner masculine. Yeah. And it's a process. Like, I mean, it's a lot easier if you have support. So if you can get support, get some support. But again, just therapy, not gonna like therapy can help with healing that inner child, right? A little bit. Like it can bring the light to the patterns. But what I noticed with therapy that it doesn't give you the path, like then what to do next. And that's why I combine a bit of therapy, but then the big part of it is the tantric direct path. And let's experience it now. So I'm inviting you into the practice now. So we'll experience it today.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go into the practice of sacred union within, the state of alchemical marriage within us, of the perfect harmony between our inner masculine and inner feminine. So start just by closing your eyes and connecting with the breath. All activations start with relaxation first. Connecting with the breath. Again, allowing the breath go all the way into your belly and anchoring the breath all the way at the base of the spine. And we're opening up, it's called receptive vessel, the front of the body. So feel the energy moving in. And then the back of the spine, that's the yang channel. So yin channel, the feminine vessel, receptive vessel, and the yang channel, the activation that goes up the spine. Just focus on the flow of the energy. So as you inhale, feel the energy coming in. Feel all those chakras were activated in the beginning. Feel the softening in your body, in your belly, in your solar plexus. Feel the breath anchoring in the base of the spine. And as you exhale, send it up the spine. Again, inhale, receive. And exhale, feel the energy moving up the spine. Couple more deep breaths. Just feel the channel opening, connect with all of the chakras we activated in the beginning. So Muladhara, base of the spine, Svadhisthana, your lower belly, then solar plexus, your Manipura, your inner power, personal power, Anahata, the heart center, Vishuddha, expression, speaking the truth, Ajna, envisioning and intuition, and Sahasrara, connection to the divine. And now press up again gently with your tongue. So tongue is continuation of your heart, actually, even in like Tao and Chinese medicine. So as you're pressing up with the tongue, we connect in the heart and the mind. And the mind represents the masculine, the heart represents the feminine. So we're already starting this process of alchemical marriage within ourselves. Keep breathing deeply, keep that activation going. And now we're going to invite the divine masculine, the Shiva consciousness, or that inner stillness. Again, it doesn't have to, it's not a religious thing. Just inviting the divine presence. You can feel the Sahasrara chakra, or just focus your attention and allow the stillness. Remember, the Shiva is that nothingness, the cosmic stillness, that clarity, that peace. Connect with the state of observer or witness consciousness. And this state, when you energetically contain in yourself, so the state of observer, right? So you contain everything within it. What's within it? Your thoughts, your feelings, sensations, but you're observing. So this is your inner masculine, because that's the energetic container. You can also connect to your inner masculine by feeling your structure, feeling your bones, like feel your seat bones grounded, feel your spine nice and tall, feel your frame. So connect to your structure to experience your inner masculine. Feeling that stillness, that unflinching presence. And absorbing what's happening. And observing what's happening in your body. So let's bring attention to the base of the spine and start feeling that energy moving up the spine, the Kundalini energy, often called the Kundalini Mahashakti. So Shakti is the divine feminine. So everything, the life itself, the body, the sensations, the desires, that's the feminine in us. So allow yourself to experience all of this within yourself while you hold in this masculine space, right? So you hold in that space of observer for yourself. This is the basis of every meditation. So meditation in the purest form is very masculine practice because it's about the witness consciousness. So you're observing what's happening, no judgment, no flinching, just very still. The stillness is prerequisite. So feel now what's happening within your body, where the energy moves if you can connect with the subtle sensations, or just physically, it's all feminine, representation of the divine feminine within yourself. And holding it, whatever is there, we're not trying to push it away, we don't try to fix it. So that's already establishing a better connection between your masculine and your feminine. Right? Holding the space of unconditional love, compassion, allowing it without trying to push it away, to fix it, to change it. Start experiencing this inner like spaciousness, freedom. You're free to be yourself. You're totally accepted. You're loved. Feeling into your sensations and into your desires and into your feminine. What the feminine in you wants to feel. So let's start with safety. So first of all, right, acknowledge I want to feel safe. And you can even bring your like you can hug yourself or whatever, makes you feel like okay, you got yourself. You got that safety. Feel like you're on inner masculine, like holding you, not suppressing, not squishing, just firm embrace, very supportive. And allow yourself to relax more into your feminine. So your feminine feeling held, protected, seen, heard. She's seen for who she is. She is loved for who she is. And just notice that sensation within yourself where, yes, you can just exhale and relax into being yourself. You are completely accepted. You're completely loved for who you are. All of your desires, all of your feelings, all of your emotions. And as you in your feminine, like receiving his like protection. Notice how it feels. Allow yourself to receive it fully and allow that sense of gratitude towards your divine masculine, towards your own inner masculine, that gratitude to rise up from the depths of your heart. And the masculine, when he feels that appreciation and he feels her in her like relaxed joy, relaxed pleasure, that activates him even more into his purpose, into his growth, into his desire. So start noticing how it's creating this beautiful, harmonious dynamic within yourself, the healthy dynamic. That's the really the original love that we're coming from, that was distracted through our childhood, through our social experiences, through the past relationships. So we're just allowing it to get back to the original. This is the original love blueprint, where the masculine containing the feminine with love, protection, adoration, and the feminine feels like she can relax because she feels safe. And that only from that relaxed state, by the way, the feminine can experience real orgasm as well. So when she's relaxed and allowing her desires, allowing her feelings, allowing all of her expressions, right? Then we're going to go into all of the expressions. Yes, there is softness, there is creativity, there is playfulness. She also can be fierce, she can be angry, all of the emotions, she can be sad. Like, see how that, like, all the feminine archetypes can be held also within that masculine container energetically. Feeling like all of your expressions are welcome, contained in love. Allow yourself to relax more into who you are. Allow yourself to relax in the deep knowing of your worthiness and of your preciousness. You're precious as you are. You're really beautiful as you are. And the real masculine that resonates with it will show up, will be attracted as you stay in this presence, in the presence of that inner queen, who feels really worthy to receive. She doesn't feel like she needs to give back right away. She just receives and relaxes into that gratitude. And yes, I'm worthy of that. She's also generous. She gives from overflow of her heart, but not because she has to. Just notice how easy it is to feel loved without trying to gain that love, without trying to prove yourself. That's how it's supposed to feel when we're in a feminine, when we are in a queen presence. We just allow the masculine to step in, to protect, to provide. And we start amplifying each other. So let's bring hands on the heart. And that's where the alchemical marriage happens. We go into the unity consciousness, feeling that love within yourself, connecting to the field of love that is everything and everywhere. And from this state, also feel like your desires automatically like purify from here. Because there are no fear anymore. There are no like that acting on your insecurities or on your programs. We're in that high state, high frequency. And this is our actual home. We are back into our heart space. Fully activated in a kingdom, effortlessly receiving, generously giving from overflow. To allow yourself to really root, like ground in that effortless state. The queen, she doesn't need to be contracted, constricted. She's actually relaxed. That's the first quality. You are relaxed. You're relaxed into knowing your truth, your beauty, your worthiness, knowing that you are love. You don't need to look for love outside of yourself. You can attract what resonates with you. And you can allow this beautiful dance of polarities between masculine and feminine and enjoy how it is unfolding. Become very curious about that, more curious about this than about like fixing something, some situation outside of yourself. Just become really curious about like this inner state. This is the most fun, the most important, the most delicious. And it's always here, it's always available for you. Let's take a deep inhale together and exhale through the heart. One more time, deep inhale. Exhale. And last one. And relax your arms. Come back, open your eyes. Welcome back. All right. So, how are you feeling?
Really good. Very good. Thank you. That was really good.
You're welcome. Yeah, so it's a very simple way to get into that state, right? But again, it's a matter of practice and doing it every day, prioritizing your alignment over everything else.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have a man here too. Dean, do you have any questions? You can put them into the chat. Okay. Any
Yeah,
more? Uh-huh, uh-huh.
yeah, sorry for not turning on my camera, but I have a very bad internet here, unfortunately. I could turn it on just for a short
No,
period.
no, no problem, no problem. You can just ask like that. That's fine.
No, no, I don't mind to turn on the camera. It's just I know my internet connection here is very spotty. And unfortunately, this building has like a lien waiver against it, meaning they can't run any cables on the
No
outside of the
excuses
building.
needed. Just ask your question.
Okay. Um, I don't know if it's safe to say if I'm in or out of a relationship, but I think for the most part, I'm out of a relationship in the sense that she sort of ended the relationship because she says that I seem to be the dominant one in the relationship and I get everything my way. And I told her, well, technically, this is not true because what is really happening is that their actions on her part, and she doesn't seem to understand how they affect other people. And I would like to find a way to show her how her actions are having an impact on other people because it's a case where she sees my bad reaction to it because I would say, okay, I don't need this or I don't want that. And I would say that multiple times. She doesn't listen. But then maybe the 10th, 11th time, I just get really angry because I've said it multiple times before. But when I get angry, this is what she remembers. But she doesn't remember like the 10 instances before when I've been, indicating, saying to her that this is not necessary or it is something that I don't like. So I'm trying to think of a way to let her know that these actions are clearly not something she needs to be doing, but she repeats them. And at some point, when I think I've had enough, I just react very badly. So how do you engage with someone to let them see what they're doing really has a negative impact in terms of the whole relationship and the dynamic in the relationship?
Okay, then thank you for your question.
Yeah.
Um, yes, often when we're experiencing some problems in relationship, it's so easy just to think it's the other person's fault, right? And it seems like you think it's her fault, you think it's your fault. So that's like where this major miscommunication happens. And right now, like I hear your side of the story, and she probably has a different story, right? But it's not about the story, and it's not about blaming another person. And I feel like it's, not really about how do I show her that she is wrong. The way I like to approach things, and especially again with the tantric perspective, with this like psychological perspective, I always invite us to take responsibility for what's happening within ourselves. So that dynamic, you also, created it, right? So we have to take 100% of responsibility for our 50%, right? Okay, we cannot be responsible for her 50%, but for your 50%, it's important to take 100% of responsibility and look in what's inside of you could attract this dynamic. Not saying you're wrong, I'm not saying she's right, I don't know, but you need to take responsibility for what attracted that. And you might try to have like a
Mhm.
conversation where you actually it's called authentic relating, so you can explore authentic relating, look into that. It's when you're first you ground into your presence, like you become fully alive. And but you're also in that meditative state. So you feel what's within yourself, and you express from where you are, like how you feel, but another person like doesn't interrupt, right? Very important that you have the space to talk and express first. And then the person reflects. She or you shouldn't jump into the, but this is what I feel like. First, the other person has to reflect what they heard, right? So reflecting back to you, okay, I'm here, you saying, and I invite you to do it first with her. So you have to hear her side and reflect back to her what you've heard. And then Another person will share, another first person reflects. So that's where you start that mature communication. Again, this practice specifically called authentic relating. You can look it up. It has 5 principles. So
Hmm.
you can check it out and see if she is willing to explore this with you. Because like if you just kind of like you're on, like that's not gonna get you anywhere. And
Okay.
for a woman, it's really important to be able to express her feelings and to feel seen and heard. Uh, there is a practice called Venus talk. And in Venus talk, that's where man is quiet and he holds space, right? Like just like in meditation now, you've heard that the main masculine purpose is to hold the space, to be present. And for the feminine, because all of the emotions, including anger, is feminine. So when you're in your anger, actually it's your feminine coming out. And of course, she's not gonna like it, right? Because
Mm.
she wants you to be in your masculine, and the masculine holds the space, first of all, for your own emotions. And then the next stage is to hold the space for her as well. That's what women really crave, like that. But we also need to take responsibility and be able to hold our own emotions. But then when we're in this dynamic, and that's what creates the delicious polarity, and when the man can hold his own emotions and your emotions. And holding it doesn't mean suppressing them. If you feel anger, you need to learn how to deal with it, right? How to feel it, how to express it,
Mhm.
like gym, whatever activities you want to do, but you cannot express it to the woman. You have to understand that women are
That's a hard
different.
part.
But this is like a necessity. Like if you express anger, she's not feeling safe with you. And women, like we're already just by nature, we're not as safe as men. We're not wired like that. So if you express anger, she's completely out of her safety zone. So what I see here is actually you need to create the space to process your own emotions and create a safe space for her then to express hers. It's not about showing
Mm.
her where she is wrong. So that's again,
Okay.
this is my opinion, and I do coach men. I mostly coach women, but yes, if you need to explore it more, you can connect with me as well, and we can go deeper into that.
Okay.
But if not, just explore authentic relating because it's kind of in authentic relating, both of you need to take responsibility for your own presence,
Hmm.
your own emotions, and then from that adult level, you speak to each other. And
Okay.
adult level means you don't project your emotions on another person.
Can
Okay.
I
We'll
ask,
give it a
like,
try.
do we have a
Sorry,
little bit
go
of,
ahead.
sorry, is that okay?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, I think for me, like I want to go back to my question. I feel like I'm in a situation where I've been told there's no change and I don't want to move back in. It's like complete separation. So is there a point of me pursuing this and trying to do the work? Or should I just, because there's no involvement anymore, you know?
If he is already checked out, I don't see
A
like,
way of getting that back.
well,
Mm.
let me put it this way. And that's what I said before. You need to do your inner work. Your work, sorry about it. Even if he wasn't checked out already, your work still would be just your inner work and see if he steps up. But he's already checked out. So
Yeah.
would you answer this question to yourself? Like if you
Yeah.
pursue, you in your masculine pursuing something that doesn't want you.
So the words come out, but it's crying constantly. So it's kind of like a mixed message. The heart and the brain aren't together. So
Like
what
for
I
you or for
feel,
him?
for him. So what I feel from him is ambivalence, and what I
Mm-hmm.
see is a want to try and work on it, but then what is said is the opposite. Do you know what I mean? But I think I have now got to a point where I feel like I don't I need to know my own I have my own self-worth and value, and I feel like perhaps I should end and move on, you know? I don't
I
know.
would yeah, I hear you. So you're saying that him expressing those emotions that confusing, right? Because like on one hand he wants you, on the other hand he doesn't, and he's
Yeah,
crying
it's like
and this and that.
mixed all the time, mixed all the time. Every time I any encounter, it's
Mm-hmm.
always mixed messages, mixed signals. There's generosity, but there's words of no. There's offerings, there's kindness, but there's words of no. And it's just really confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So how does it make you feel? How does it make your inner queen feel?
Awful. Really awful. I feel like I feel like I am used and abused. I feel like I feel like it's sort of like guilt sometimes. I feel like there's a longing for the past, but no willingness to work on anything, you know, because of the
Mm-hmm.
mind state.
And based on what we talked about today and the practice that we did, if you connect with your inner masculine, so how would your inner masculine deal with it? So when your inner masculine sees that feminine suffering so much, being in pain, not being cherished, not being treated well, what would your masculine do?
Say no.
That
Don't put up
you
with
have
it.
to answer this question. Tell.
Don't put up with it. Don't put up with it, you know? If you're not being treated right, why should you be put up? Why should you put up with it?
Mm-hmm. And how does it look then in real life? Like what you need to do from this perspective?
Move on.
Here you go. You answered your own question.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That's
Yes.
helpful.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. Yeah, it's very good to like come back to that like tantric perspective and see like your own like inner masculine and inner feminine, how they want to be treated, how like what you want to allow, what you don't want to allow. Yeah. And again, there is a course you can but it's for women. Dean, the course is for women, but the coaching is for both men and women. So if you'd like to explore that, I will send you the link. And all right, so happy equinox! Thank you for showing up
Thank
and
you.
asking the questions and being present here. All right,
Well, thank you for your time as well.
thank you.
Thank you
You're
very much.
welcome. You're
Take care.
welcome. Okay,
All
bye.
right. Bye.